Yeah, hi everybody, this is Ryan back here with you again. I know I've been talking about doing a video on the OmniTracs IVG here at Landstar, and also about recap. And then so we're going to do this part of the video here in the truck, then we're going to kind of put it all together, and there's going to be the last half of this video is going to be kind of about a time management, speed as a factor, that type of kind of running the numbers we're going to do it on the whiteboard back in the office. Like I said, I'd done this video in the truck on the notepad and I really didn't like it, so I just wanted to redo it and do a little bit better presentation for y'all. But I'll go ahead and get started and introduce you to the OmniTracs IVG here. If you come over to Landstar, it was $800 the first time I came over here. They were $800. Once you pay for it and you decide to leave, say you're going to go to Mercer, you're going to go somewhere else, if it's paid for, they'll give you a receipt, LCAP will, and a release, and you can take it anywhere you want, and it'll just be, just like a cell phone, it'll be reactivated with Qualcomm OmniTracs. I heard from one of the subscribers who just came over to Landstar, I can't confirm it, but he said now they're only charging $625 for these. So it may be price is a little debatable. But like I said, when I got it, it was $800. Actually, I got this one. I sold my original one. I went over to Mercer, and theirs was $550. Then I brought this one I have now. Like I said, it came from Mercer, and I brought it back over to Landstar, so I just had to get it reactivated the same way I just described. But I'll go ahead and we'll get in here, and I'll show you the home screen and kind of go through everything. I'll show you how the recap works on it, and it's really easy to run a recap because it basically spells everything out and shows you everything. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is basically your home screen. So if you hit the home button, this is what you're going to get. Then make the screen brighter, dimmer, whatever you need. At nighttime, I will actually shut this all the way off. You can get it all the way dark. For some reason, it's lagging really bad. So that's how, like when I'm running at night, I run it like that, so it's not lighting up the whole cab. Okay, so the top row is all you're going to be using here. You can actually activate the navigation feature. I think it's like an extra $30 a month or so. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, I don't use that. So basically, you got messaging, hours of service, driver login. I mean, once you log in, that's it. Vehicle inspection, we use that for our post-trip inspections. But messaging, I never get any message. I think I get one once a month. Or I mean, they have the safety call on Thursdays, and they'll usually send a message out for that. But I haven't been getting them recently. So we'll go right in. The only thing, like I said, the only things you're going to use is hours of service. Sorry, I just started this thing up there. It's kind of lags a little bit when you first start it up. So it shows us our duty status and all that. That's the status page. So if you want to change, you can go in here. So I'll show you personal conveyance. I mean, a lot of people ask about that. So if you want to do personal conveyance, you're going to go personal conveyance there. Then you have to choose something. So I mean, choose bobtail personal use, whatever. If you're going to go to the grocery store or go to Walmart, you can put that in there. You can type that in. But, then you hit OK. Then once you start driving, it'll kick it over to personal conveyance. Then you got sleeper berth. I mean, 10-hour rest break, whatever you're doing. And then on duty. And it gives you, they've got preloaded stuff on here that you can put in. So then driving kicks in itself, as you know. Once you go over 5 miles an hour, this thing is going to kick in to driving. So keep that in mind. If you got to move around a truck stop or something, if you want to move, I mean, sometimes I'll be parked somewhere and I'll have a reefer guy or something. There'll be 100 spots and they'll back right in right next to me when I'm trying to sleep during the day for some reason. So I mean, if you're going to move, I'd go to off duty and just put in there, move into a different spot. Or other than that, you got to drive under 5 miles an hour. It's going to kick you back on the driving. So keep that in mind. So that's that. Also on this home screen, it tells you when you started this duty cycle or status. what time it is now, duration. Exception, that would be personal conveyance. It'd be in there if it was on personal conveyance. Tell you when your last 34-hour reset is. And this is for your recap. So this hours to be gained is what you're going to get tonight at midnight. At midnight, whatever time your logs are. Like I'm in Eastern log, so if you're at Landstar, you'll be on Eastern because we're out of Jacksonville, Florida. So say if I'm in California, we're 3 hours difference. So I'll get this time back at 9 p.m. local time, 3 hours ahead. And this is what you're going to get tomorrow night at midnight, whatever time that you're in. Then it shows the mileage you did today. So that's kind of that screen. So we'll go to summary, and this shows you what you have, your 8-hour, 11-hour, 14-hour, your 70-hour. So I'm on recap, sorry about that. I'm on recap right now. I've been running for basically 2 weeks. So that's that. Clocks, this is, if you're going to Canada, what you're going to do, you're going to go back, when you're at the border, you'll change duty, go to on duty, put a border crossing in there, and then you got to go over to clocks, and you're going to hit border, and it says you want to record a border crossing, hit yes, and then it'll put a line in there where you're changing to Canadian hours or American hours if you're coming back across the border. But then the other thing you got to do is go to region and change this to, if you're going into Canada, Canada, Maine, you change that, hit OK, and it will change all your hours of service and everything to Canadian time. And the same thing when you're coming back. When you're coming back to USA, you change it again there and hit OK. So that's pretty simple. And I had to figure all this stuff out myself. Nobody told me. But here's your graph, like a paper log, and you can go back and all that. Do all your days. Day log, this basically goes through everything that you've done. It has all your comments, and this is kind of what, if you get pulled over by DOT, this is what they're going to be looking at, and they can actually like email this to themselves or whatever. 8 days. So this is how you figure out your recap. So this bottom day, once you get to 8 days, this bottom day is going to be what you're getting back tonight at midnight. So you can forecast out, okay, so this is going to be, okay, today's Friday, so I'm getting this back Friday night, I'm getting this back Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. So I can predict all the way out for the next 8 days how much time I'm going to be getting back each night on my recap hours. But like say if you got 2 zeros down here, or you had a recap, or if you had a 34-hour, if I had a 34-hour in here, then it would start out the following day. So if you got 2 zeros, and you're not going to be into recap until, you know, like I said, the 17th, if you had 2 zeros, and you see that down here, you know, if you had 0, 0, 0, 0, then you know you wouldn't be getting recap till that day. So this is what you want to watch for your recap, and you can forecast out how much time you're going to have on that day. Then certify is basically where you sign your logs, which I actually need to do for the 21st. I drive at night, so my days are like split. You know, I start up at 10 o'clock at night, and I usually typically drive to about 8 o'clock in the morning. So I won't certify the day before until I park the next day. So I need to go ahead and certify this one anyways. So, and that's all you got to do. Now, if you need to change something, if you made a mistake, like say if I want to on duty, okay, say I that needed to be, it should have been off duty. So you can go into edit, and I can change that to whatever I need to change it to. Or say I forgot to say I did a post trip, I forgot to log off, I had like 30 minutes on here. You can go to split, and you can go to off duty. Then you have to change the time up here to however you want to split it up, you know, by clicking that, or you can type it in. So you wanted like 10 minutes for your post trip and 20 minutes for your, you know, off duty time, but that you forgot. But you'll have to actually, you can't do this on the, if you're still on that duty status, you can't do it. So like if I go down, like I'm off duty right now, it won't let you edit it. So if I needed to edit it, I'd have to go back to status, change my duty status. So like I said, if you were on duty and you forgot to log, you go off duty, you change it to off duty, then go back to this screen, and then you'd see, so you'd see off duty, on duty, then you would be able to go in and edit the last duty status. You cannot edit the status that you're on right now. You have to change it first. And this is the load status, or the load tab, basically, where you put your load information. And I actually need to update this because I didn't do it this morning. So it was actually empty. So it was empty. Usually you put the load ID in here, but I don't have it right now, so I'm just going to put something in to suffice. Then you just save it. I have no idea why it's asking me for those dates. So anyways, that's the load tab. I don't know why it erased that load for some reason. There. Okay, so that's that. That's the basically the logs section. So next thing is going to be vehicle inspection. So you'll do this when you do your post trip every day. Get a new VIR. If you're in the US, hit US. If you're in Canada, hit Canada. In Canada, you have to, when you're up there, make sure you got your license plate number for the truck and the trailer, because it's going to ask you for those when you do that. So you'll just put in the trailer number, whatever you have. Next. If you have any deficiencies, put those in. You know, say we had an engine problem. Then it'll ask you, you can put in a description what it is. But normally no defects, no defects. Then you'll submit it. Then you'll hit submit again. It like kind of freezes sometimes, so you have to hit it a couple times. But then after that, it'll come back and say completed or whatever. And that's pretty much it with that. So it's a relatively easy system to use. I don't typically, I mean, like when I first start up, it's kind of slow and kind of lags, but then after kind of running down the road for half an hour, everything kind of speeds up and catches up with it. But other than that, like I said, that's pretty much it with this. And we'll continue on with the second part of the video at home in the office. So.